Alrighty, friends, we're back. Your favorite podcast of the week. It's called Location Weekly, and we are recording on March the 5th. Yes, it's a new month. Spring is just around the corner. For those of you over here in North America, daylight savings is time is next weekend. So lots is happening, and the weather's great. Brianna, how are you? Where are you?
I'm doing well. I am here in sunny Phoenix for a conference over the next few days, an internal conference. Yeah, so just enjoying some sunshine and it's an early morning here for us, but glad to be here. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, it's the weather's been lovely in Toronto. I am heading on the road tomorrow as well. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City for a few days. Never been there, so my first time. Um, Excited to see what that's all about, and then I'm actually heading over the weekend and the early part of next week to South America, to Guyana, British Guyana, where my family's originally from, and hanging out with my parents and some family. So that'll be interesting. I haven't been there for like 20 years.
That'll be
Uh
amazing.
so it'll be yeah, it'll be fun just for a few days. But all right, well, we have a good show for you. Four stories to cover off, and let Aubriana kick us off.
All right. Well, when you're going places you haven't been, you need a map. And Instagram is developing a friend map feature. This is an opt-in feature that they're working on, and it's very similar to Snapchat's Snap Map, which we covered on the show not too long ago. And really, it would allow you to see your your friends' locations in real time. So right now, this is an internal prototype, and there's a reverse engineer. His name is Alessandro Paluzzi, who's often kind of like tapping in and discovering these social media features that are in developed ahead of their launch. And so this was spotted by him. And basically, Instagram is planning to officially launch this Frid map. If they do, I'm assuming they will. It's copying, another popular feature from Snapchat. I feel like the two are just constantly borrowing from one another, right? With the stories, and it seems to be more Instagram following Snap's lead. But they clone their core functionality in their stories back in 2016. But they're also now thinking about, the Apple Find My Friends or Find My People kind of feature that Apple has, which I use often for my kids or my husband to know, hey, how long till they're going to be here? Or like, where are they? If I can't get a hold of them, this is kind of bringing that into consideration as well. So I think that Instagram is really trying to make their app a little bit more sticky and giving users reasons to spend more time there and less time on other company services, which obviously means that they can sell more advertising spots and address them with all of that good stuff that you buy that you don't really need, right? They had Instagram had an opportunity to kind of appeal to people who were fans of an app called Zenly, and Snap acquired them last year and then shut them down. Some other features within this feature, if you would, were like notes. So you could leave notes on the map. So you could leave something, hey, I found this like really cool pop-up shop, or, post kind of like short updates on the map. And then I think they're really just trying to enhance their map offering as a whole. And then and last year they introduced something called like a searchable map. So you could search like popularly tagged locations. So I think this feeds nicely into that. So you could think about like finding restaurants or cafes, beauty salons, things like that. Um, but this came right after Google SVP, said that users are kind of shifting away from like the Google Maps, and they're moving more towards the TikToks and Instagrams and Snaps of the world to discover new places. So I think this is a good opportunity for Instagram. Obviously, it's definitely very copycat, but it's not always first to market. Sometimes it just depends on who you can address. And I think this is going to be another challenge for Snap to overcome, just because the time spent in Instagram and the stickiness, because so many moved over from Facebook to Instagram, and because they're all part of Meta, is going to be difficult to overcome. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, like I think having a map, friend map feature, within Instagram, I think it's a good thing. I think that, these the Snap Map and Instagram platforms are very similar in many ways now. Obviously they're stealing features from each other all the time. So, you know, I don't I don't see why you wouldn't want to have, this kind of a map feature in Instagram. I think to your point, like, and even for myself, I would say, like, as an older person, I still have Facebook. I still look at, friends, and family and stuff like on that, but I'm more and more using Instagram on a day-to-day basis. I'm starting to message more on it. I'm starting to share more content on that platform. And, I think in terms of traveling or being, in a place where I'm not normally, being able to see, who's around me or those kinds of things, I think, there's some value to that. And probably you want that kind of capability across as many platforms as you have, on, that you're using regularly. So I think that's interesting. I like the notes functionality where you can kind of leave a note on the map, that they're talking about here. I think that's kind of interesting where, maybe if you've got a group of friends that you're sharing location with, and let's say you discover a new restaurant that you really love, and you can like leave a little note there for your friends to see, about it, or review or something like that. I think that could be really interesting. And even that, just the idea of like, restaurants and, or anything like that, where, review content that is map based, I think could be really interesting, as a way to, potentially monetize, this feature in terms of generating revenue from those restaurant brands or things like that. So I like it. I think there's a lot of capabilities, in this, and I think it's a no-brainer for Instagram to kind of jump into that space. All right.
Yep.
Staying with the map business, there's a new app now on the horizon, called Sway, Sway. And this is also a friend map type of story. It was announced at Mobile World Congress, which was just happening. And it's an iPhone app, and it's not about sharing where you are right now. It's about sharing where you intend to be in the future. This could be a couple hours in the future. This could be weeks or months away in the future. Um, and so, it's really kind of focusing on not having to kind of coordinate in real time with your friends where you're going to be, but being able to just let your followers know, ahead of time, and then they can kind of search on this basis. And they're calling it serendipitous co-location. So it could be that you're part of a small, like, you can create your own groups on this. So it could be a close set of friends that you're just sharing with all the time. It could be work colleague groups that you've created. It could be, people at a conference, for example, that you've just met and you've created a group on the